Peace, everyone. I am Joy Allen of Karmic Dynasty, and today you will be watching Black and White Are Not Colors. This is the first session of this build. There will be two sessions, so this is session one. Of course, I have with me today the mother matriarch herself, Salima Ellis, will be here. So, well, she's actually here. I'm going to bring her in the studio shortly so you all can see her face. So, right now, what I am doing is I am sharing events, my upcoming events. So let's look at those right quick. Before we get started, let's get this housekeeping done. All right. First, here are my event dates. I will be in Washington, D.C., August 21st. And I will have the event is the books, bikes, bags, etc. This is going to be 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Tickets, info, contact me, mkdtnt@gmail.com. I have 5 tickets left and 1 vendor's table left. So join us there. And here is some information on that in the ticker below as I continue. Next, we have the Pittsburgh event with my brother, my Siba, Ramutef Queb, and information is on the flyer. All that information is on that flyer. So check us out. The right quick, I want to mention, because when Ramutef and I launched the flyer and we announced the event, what we did not discuss is the price range for the vendors. So as you see on the screen, the vendors tables are $45 to $100. Now that price is based on, that ranges because each vendor, there's different vendor types, so there's different vendor prices. And then also, if you have been at one of our events before, then there is a discount on your table. So depends on who you are and depends on what you're vending, that determines your ticket price. So contact myself or Ramutef Queb. You know, I'm not like I told him, I'm not going to make people come to me and get info from me. You'd rather work with Ramutef Queb, get your information, and he will be more than excited to assist you with that. And we are both looking forward to that event. I also have my Columbus, Ohio event coming up. And there we have the homeschool evolution. I see you, Mother Matriarch Salima. Here, let me bring you up on the screen. You ready to come up on the screen right now? Okay, no? Okay. She over excited. Yes, the Columbus event, it is called the Homeschool Evolution. I will be launching that flyer soon, shortly and soon. I want to keep pace on what I'm doing already. We are preparing for the Homeschool Evolution. Homeschool Evolution in brief. We are coming to the table to create a packet. It's a project. It's going to be a finished product. And it's going to be speaking about the ease and the how-tos of homeschool. And also some source information and some starter, like a starter kit on curriculum to get people started. So that event, those who are coming to the table to help create the finished product, they don't pay for ticket prices. The people who want to come and sit and observe and comment and add value to what we're doing, they will be the ones paying tickets, as well as the people watching virtually. So that is that information in brief. Also, right now, last on my tour date, my tour stops is Detroit, Michigan. I know she back there with her hands up. Yep, she had her hands up in the air again. I see you. I'm gonna bring you on the screen so they can see your excited self. Yes, I will be in Detroit again. I was asked to come and speak on magic again this time, because I'm not one for lecturing. If you've not heard me say it, I'm going to tell you this time. I'm not one for lecturing. You want to sit and listen to me? You can do that right here in this square. Okay, this ain't what I'm set out to do. This is not my mission in life. It's not my path. It's not what I'm doing. I am in the community. I'm coming out. We are going to be working together. Y'all ain't about to sit and listen to me and be comfortable in your chair. DC, we on the bikes, we walking, we movement. The movement must continue. So we're having interactive magic. You will be bringing your craft and we all will be learning from each other. So as with the Columbus event in Detroit, you're coming to the outside in nature and sharing your craft with us. You will not be paying for admission. The people who will come and observe will be paying admission tickets for that event. So that's what I have for everyone. And we are going to go ahead and get started into this broadcast today. And with that being said, I am now going to bring on the Mother Matriarch, Salima Ellis. I see you ready? You ready? You ready? Okay, she's ready. Let's go. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. There she is. All right. Welcome to Karmic Dynasty. Welcome, welcome. All right. Tell everyone who you are, where we can find you, and a brief on what to expect in today's presentation.
Okay, so I am Mother Matriarch Salima, and I do have some traffic going through, but we're going to work with it. I'm a homeschooler. I'm from Detroit, Michigan. You can find me on 3 different platforms, including this one. But my homeschool page is Universal Mind School of Evolution, where I put out curriculum, not what people are expecting, but you can find me there. My other page is Pattern Masters. You have to ask to get in there because I want the people that's really trying to go to the next level in that structure of Pattern Masters. Also, you can find me on my personal page, Salima Ellis, and I have a ton of information and videos on all of them. My pages are not for being entertained and giggle, hoo-hoo, ha-ha. You have to really, I'm sorry, ladies, I'm like really on live. I apologize. So if you come to those pages, you are actually seeking out the knowledge that we are providing to our homeschoolers and to everyone else that is interested in these topics.
Gratitude for sharing that with us. Now let's see. We're going to go ahead and start with the PowerPoint. That's okay. You ready to do that now?
Oh yes, yeah. We can get right into it.
All right. Give me a few moments here. All right. So, right quick while I do this, share with everyone how long you have been working on this, and then share with them how long I've been working on it with you, because this has been going on for some time. I have been mentioning this for months at least. So I know people's like, what was Joy talking about? I thought Joy was going to do. This is what I was speaking about. So tell us about the timeline with this.
Okay, the timeline is 2 years. I started a year ago, and then I was introduced to Mother Matriarch. I was watching her do her thing on, the platform, and I was already in the midst of writing because I am a homeschooler. And one of the things I learned while I was homeschooling is that we have to unlearn. Like, it's hard to just dive into homeschooling when your students and the parents already have a mindset of what is education. So I started sending Joy what I had a year ago. A year ago, and it was just all rough draft and hard copy, because really this is a book. It's not just like a PowerPoint. This is a tool that I use to teach my students. So a year ago, and then over this winter, I really buckled down and really got it in there, got the information in there.
Yes, she did.
And I was like, Matriarch Joy, but I don't know how to put this together. So, and she just helped me along the way, guiding me to put my thoughts and the knowledge that I had gained into this session so that it could come alive. So it's taken 2 years just for this one session. And it's taken 1 year for Joy to push me to make sure, like, look, what's going on? And I'm like, things are just moving slow, especially when the hit. I'm not going to even say it because I don't want no problems. But yeah, everything sort of slowed down because.
Oh, yeah, she's talking about this type status.
Yes, that type of mess was going on. So that slowed me down. The libraries was closed. Everything that I was using as a tool to enlighten myself and bring this knowledge forth to my people just seemed cut off from me. But I still buckled down and I was like, I'm going to use what I have because I know I got it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have to acknowledge all the other people across the platforms who encouraged me. It wasn't just Joy, it was Shayu, it was Crumb, it's Ponder. It's a lot of people who bring in their information. And it's like, that's what the Page Pattern Masters is about. It's not just you having all the answers. It's a wide variety of people that you come into that fill in that blank, that puzzle pieces that you know there's something missing, but you need that information. So that's what Pattern Masters is about. That's what this session today is about. Like, we're really going to buckle down and get this information out here.
That's right. All right, so let's go ahead and get started.
All right.
Black and white are not colors.
Whoop, whoop. Black and white are not colors. They are states of being. We are being lied to consistently. Why this topic? Because I'm a homeschooler and a community activist and activated thinker. I have long known that people who do not control their own narrative and who often mimic biased narratives to the detriment of themselves are not free. You ain't free. You ain't free. My youngest is 6 years old, and I wanted her to be able to create her own experience, write her own narrative, control her own narrative. So it's important for us as a people who claim that we want to be free, that we understand these words and their meanings.
Okay. You ready to put it on?
Mother Matriarch, I'm going to mute my mic for a minute.
Okay. I'll read the slides for you. So this term black has been weaponized for hundreds of years. They have monetized and politicized the weapon. Grants, schools, food programs, etc. We will also delve into color. What is color? What are primary colors? Now, from the Webster's New Collegiate Dictionary, we have color, and we will address color 1 and color 2 here.
Okay, yes. For color 1, I highlighted 1A because it's considered a phenomenon of light as red, brown, pink, or gray, or visual perception that enables one to differentiate otherwise identical objects.
Mm-hmm.
And I also highlighted color C under 1C, a
Yes.
hue as contracted with black, white, or gray.
Mm-hmm.
So we have primary colors, which are considered red, yellow, and blue, that have to contract with white or gray in order for these spectrums to be seen. So for you to say that black absorbs all color, or the way that they have this out, they don't understand what these terms that we inadvertently call black and white, the power that they really have. They're not the colors that they're being taught. They were called black and white to create a biased narrative to enslave a people, but that's not what it is. That's not what it is. So also for color, for 2A, it's also often an outward and deceptive. You're being deceived. So we have to be careful when we're using these terms, because we really don't know how complex color is as a communication tool, and also just as a tool as simple as giving a child a crayon to color with.
Okay. So we're going to, you did color 2, we done with that? Or do you want to talk more on that?
Color 2 was important because it was talking about influence and effect. Because you have to understand, like I said, black and whites are not colors. It's used for influence and effect. Black and white, at the way that they're using it as a weapon to control people, is an influence and effect. That's not a color. That's a state of being. So the
Right.
sooner we start realizing that it's being used as it's a being, it has a living, breathing personality. This color that we're calling black, which isn't black, is a living, breathing being. It's an entity that the other colors have to contract with in order to even exist in this dimension.
Mm.
We don't know what we're saying, and we don't know how to utilize it. Because when I'm talking to you right now,
Mm-hmm.
they'll say you have a body, but what I'm really talking to is color.
Mm-hmm.
You are color communication and different colors and textures. So that's how deep it is when we say black and white, that's not a color. That's a form of control.
Mm-hmm.
So we have color here, which the matriarch Shay you put up. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. An appearance, semblance, or simulation as distinguished from that which is real. Why do you need color to distinguish that from which is real and which is not? A prima facie or apparent right, hence a deceptive appearance, a plausible assumed exterior, concealing a lack of reality, a disguise, a pretext. So by them calling us black, it's an assumption that you're evil and wicked. And anything in the country that happens to us, because we choose to take on that assumed paradigm of being black. Because if black was just a color, how can a color be wicked?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? How can a color be good or bad or wicked? So it's an outward appearance. You're being labeled. You're being labeled something that you just are not.
Mm-hmm.
We can keep talking, but I'm gonna move. I'm about to find a spot where I can really. So let's get on this United Nations. United Nations faces backlash after asking staff if they identify as yellow. Now, they had to get rid of that. They really did. And this is the reason why they had to get rid of that. Because it was considered racist.
Right.
Okay. If you ever watch these racist movies, one of them was a war movie that they put out, and the Asian girl says, "I love you long time." They called that yellow fever because the round eyes, who we call white people or Caucasians, like to go down there and indulge in their yellow fever. But that's a horrible thing to call people. So when you're dealing with people who know who they are, because obviously the Asians know who they are, they would never dignify themselves and say, "Yes, I'm a yellow person." How can you say you're a color? How? So my question is, when they retracted that survey, did they retract it? Did they ask the same color? Did they ask the same question of the people who are considered black? Do you consider yourself black? You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Do you did they retract that if that was on part of their survey? You see what I'm saying? So we have all these things that we don't understand when we acquiesce to these people. So the Asians knew that they're not a color because they know you're going to give them civil mortis when you define yourself as a color. You're lawfully dead.
Okay. So after reading the definitions for color, is it possible for one color to be better or more important than the other color? We will also explore colors according to chakras, rituals, and color in nature. In terms of labor and economy, if colors worked, would one color or should one color make more money than another color?
Right. So ask yourself, right now I have white on the screen, white, which isn't white. I have red, green, blue on the screen. If they were getting paid, which one deserves more money? The one that's got the more surface on the screen, or all of them together should get paid equally because they're all up there together making what we're doing work.
Right.
Yeah, they're all making it work.
And the same can be said for gender reveals that assign color to a gender. Is a man less masculine in his nature if he wears pink, which is also the color of love? Is a woman less feminine in her nature if she wears blue, which is also the color of peace? We have been taught to create biases with something as simple and complex as color. This is where thinking begins.
So we have these gender reveals, and we say it's pink. If it's a girl, it's pink. Even though pink represents love, for those of us who use magic, when you want love, you go to the candle shop, you get a pink candle, and you tell the solar system, the great mother father, look, I want some love in my life. You go get the pink or red candle. If you want peace and tranquility in your home, you go to the candle shop and you go get a blue candle because you want peace and tranquility in your home. You burn that candle and you ask whatever divinity you're associated with that this is what I want in my home. So not only it's a form of communication, you're sending out to the universe, this is what I want for me. So if a man wears pink, is he any less than a man? Is he any less masculine? Because he's wearing the color of love. He's going to draw. A man wearing pink draws my eye. I don't think of him as gay. Now, if he got on a dress, bam, that's a whole different situation. But a man that's very well dressed, very well kept, who's wearing pink, whoa, baby, bring it on. The same goes for women. I'm wearing blue today. Am I any less feminine in my womanhood? Am I any less than a woman? Because I'm wearing blue. I have 5 children.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? I breastfed all of them. I got grandkids. You're telling me this color makes me less of who I am. So when you start using colors decisively in a way that makes these borders, these mental and physical borders that we don't need. We don't need. So even though we're talking about black and white are not colors, we have to delve into color to fully understand the ramifications when we choose to use them as colors, because all the colors are being manipulated to keep this veil over our eyes. So we do have to be careful.
Yes, and when you were speaking about the man in a dress, oh yeah, speaking of colors, according to one movie that I adored as a child, that's a horse of a different color. A man in a dress. And we talked about that in the setup of this presentation.
Yes, we did.
That's a topic, that's a whole nother broadcast. We're gonna bring y'all that too. Because y'all presidents be wearing dresses, and we gonna bring y'all the receipts on that.
Yes. The
y'all
presidents. Y'all presidents.
Okay.
Y'all who y'all vote for. She opened up my eyes. Hey, she bust that wide open. So yeah.
Bust that lie up. Busting up all lies. Goodness. All right, so let's talk to us about the chakras, the colors.
Okay. The reason why I brought in the chakras is because we need to understand the power of the colors that are known of our black and white. So when we talked earlier, while we were still putting this together, we talked about the 3 primary colors, red, blue, and yellow, which make all the other colors, right?
Right.
So we have blue at the throat. We have yellow at the solar plexus. And we have red at the root chakra, which is your organs, your sexual organs and stuff like that. So, but the third eye is purple. So red, yellow, and blue, depending on how you mix them, will create purple, green, orange. But it's amazing that the crown chakra and the third eye was purple. Now, when you mix red, yellow, and blue together, they don't make black. And they don't make white. what we're calling black and white. So therefore, black and white are primary colors.
Mm-hmm.
All this other stuff they be talking about, unless you sit down and do it yourself, which I just did on a piece of paper.
Right.
That those are not those primary colors cannot make black or white. So how can they be primary colors? We have to understand what the term primary really means.
Right.
Because really, those three colors have to contract, as in the definition said, they have to contract with black and white to be seen themselves. Plain and simple. So when we go into the definition of primary, I don't want to read all of it.
Okay.
But I'm gonna get to a good gist of it. Number one, first in order of time and development. We're primary. We're the first in order of time and development. Ain't no ifs, ands about it. We are the primary people. We are the original people. Primitive, the primary of civilization, of or relating to formations of the Paleozoic and earlier periods. Two, of the first rank, importance or value. When you let people call you black, you take away your importance and value. And don't let them call you white either. Principles, basic, fundamental, security. Now, the one I underlined was D, of or relating to agriculture, forestry, and extractive industries or their product. Okay? It's primary is because there is no industry more important than growing food. And really growing food is not an industry. It's a right. It's natural law.
Correct.
Forestry is natural law. It's not a right. It's not an industry. Forestry is a right. I have a right to breathe. Okay. I did a live not long ago. I came home, one of my trees was gone. They cut down the whole tree. No roots was showing up. Y'all sidewalk wasn't messed up from it. What was the purpose of cut? Because that's their extractive method. Okay. That's why they shut down all of our lands and start calling them national parks, because they wanted to extract the vital minerals and materials of these lands. So we have to be careful. These primary colors, they ain't what you think it is. So for 3A, let's go back to 3A in primary, not derivable from other colors, odors, or tastes. You can't taste like me. You can't stank like me. And you can't be the color like me. Why? Because you cannot derive this from something else.
Right.
I'm a primary. Guess what? I have red, blue, green, brown, white, pink. I am the primary. You get your color from me. Okay?
That's right.
So black is not derivable from other colors. It's already in exist. That's why they love that thing in Switzerland. What's it called? The Hadron Collider, where they make dark matter. Because they want that black. They want it. They really do want it. So yeah, you can't derive up. You can't derive anything from me like that. The next one was G, for directly derived from ores, metals, of or relating to, for the primary, because this is important. It's going to come back up when we get deeper into who we are as a people and why black and white are not colors. So of or relating to, constituting, we're reading think F, and then it's going to take us straight into G.
Okay.
Constituting the inducing current or its current or its circuit in an induction coil or transformer. You the induction coil, you the transformer, directly derived from ores. So I need people to try to remember that. Like we say, take notes and watch this PowerPoint again, because it's going to get deeper. It's going to get deep. Primary two, I only wanted to do one definition from primary two, which is any set of colors from which all other colors may be derived.
Okay.
Except you can't make white with the so-called primary color. So white is a primary within itself.
Mm-hmm.
Did you want to add anything to it?
Nope, not so far. Not so far.
Okay, we're gonna keep
I'm
it
still
moving
on their
here.
presidents wearing dresses.
That was wild.
That was real wild.
Yeah, that was wild. I was like, wow, this is crazy. This is what they doing.
Yeah, they wearing them dresses.
So for this session, I'm going to ask our most of us do not think. Most of us do not know how to think. We often say to our children, Starseed, duh, like, what were you thinking? Or you just don't think. And we say it like we say breathe, and we breathe because we want to live. But that's because they've been in the system, like myself. My children were in the system. Fortunately, not my younger ones, but you learn what's called rote learning.
Mm-hmm.
So when you learn by rote,
yes,
it's not good. It's part of a crowd. Rote
Mm-hmm.
learning needs a crowd, whereas homeschool learning, you don't need a crowd.
right.
Okay. For the rest of that definition, the use of memory, usually with little intelligence, to learn by rote. Routine or repetition, carry out mechanically or unthinkingly.
Mm-hmm.
The most important part coming up, a joyless sense of order and commercial hustle. You learn, they're teaching you by rote because you're only being trained to do the jobs they put out there. That is rote learning. There's nothing in rote learning that makes you think. The only time we use rote learning is for the younger children because we want them to remember their numbers. So you make them learn by rote. You want them to remember their letters. You make them learn by rote. Okay. So this is how we break it down, that we're not educated, we're trained, because we all had this rote learning. Now,
Exactly.
This is where it gets interesting. When you sit in a classroom and you all have the same textbook and you all have the same questions in the textbook and all of that stuff, it's rote learning because it's rote training. Actually, it's not learning. You're being trained. You all have to have the same answer or it's wrong. With homeschooling, you think outside the box.
Mm-hmm.
Any answer is plausible and can lift you up here to ascend mentally, to ascend intellectually,
Right.
and mindfully. So when you learn by rote in a classroom, sitting with a book, when you're trained that everybody's answer this is the answer. There is no, how is that elevating anybody? That's training.
Right.
So we don't understand what true education is. And a lot of these different platforms, when we send our children to these institutions, we don't understand we're sending them for rote training. There is no education. When you have people like Jack Ma speak on education, when you have people like Jeff Bezos, they're not really talking about education. They're talking about they're in league with Bill Gates and all these other people. And now you think they're going to give you the key and your child is going to go take this class and now they're going to learn something that's going to elevate them out of. No, they're talking because they're letting but the U.S. Department of Education know that this is the next type of worker I need so I can stay rich.
Exactly.
Rich. That's it. That's not education. That's rote learning. That's you going to the next big, whether they be Tom Bezos, Trump, I don't care. If they're speaking about education, they're letting this system's educational department know this is the next kind of trained worker that I need.
Right.
Come at me with something else if you want me to think something else, because I know, because this is what they do. When they want nurses, They put out all these commercials, and you can get financial aid. Why do I need financial aid to be a nurse to save a life? You should. That's some training that should be for free for me. Y'all have the money. The hospital boards sit up collecting money all year from the government, and our people don't even know. As indigent, you don't have to pay for one thing. For these people, any services, they're supposed to pay for it. But you don't know that because you've been trained. You're not educated. So,
are we listening to this song right quick, or is that later?
We can. Yes, we can.
All right.
That doesn't end. Yes, it goes on and on, my friend. Some people started singing it, not knowing what it was, and they'll continue singing it forever just because this is the song that doesn't end. Yes, it goes on and on, my friend. Some people started singing it, not knowing what it was, and they'll continue singing it forever just because this is the song that doesn't end.
And that video go on for a minute and 40
Yes, it does. And I remember that song from my childhood.
It never ends, so it's going on and on. It's an infinite video.
And I wanted that because that was the song playing in my head the whole time I was putting this together. Because one of the most important lyrics in there is that some people started singing it, not knowing what it was. You singing something you don't know what it is. But that was one of my favorite childhood because we couldn't wait to see lamb chops with Sherry, you know.
Yes, I remember that.
We have to understand rote is when you accepting anything that they put out there, whether it's their education, voting, protesting, following leaders that they give to us, jumping on Juneteenth. Like it's the best thing that ever happened to you. While the Asians got a crime bill to protect them, you get Juneteenth.
That's it.
That's it. And they bought and everybody that has a business just made $100 million off of you for Juneteenth. We're gonna stop celebrating this nonsense and start educating ourselves.
Yeah, it's necessary. So speaking of educating, let's go into think, because that's what you have next. It's time. Look at you. You own it.
Yes. So we don't know how to think. We don't know how to think. I even have to do this with my children all the time when I'm ready to choke, scream, and pull out a belt. Okay. So
we were talking about pulling switches off trees earlier. You talking about belts and what?
Hey. Choke. Hey, my sons, no flights of steps personally.
Oh, hold on. I'm gonna let you know scream by yourself on that one. Go ahead.
Because they bigger than me, and I'm not gonna keep repeating myself.
That's right. I
get tired of people talking about that's child abuse. When is it parent abuse? After I've repeated myself 2-3 times, this is necessity that needs to be handled for the day so that we can have a peaceful house. So since you don't want to talk to me, talk to these steps on your way out the door. So yes. So right now we're going to talk about thinking, which is observe, listen, and watch. I also have to put up there retain. Retain what you are observing. Listen, retain to what you have heard, and retain the memory of what you are seeing, watching. Because without this process, there's going to be problems in the home. My daughter, I love her, but I swear I'll show her how to do something 1,000,000 times, and then she'll go and do it her own way. And I'm like, are you even thinking? Are you listening to me? So it's that they don't even want to retain the knowledge that you give them because they're too busy being entertained. So you have to be careful. You have to analyze the information that you're getting. Our people do not know how to analyze information. If you know how to analyze information, which is break it down and look at it and compare it to past memories and what could happen next. We have no next step when we dealing with these foreign constructs. We have no next steps. So you have to compare that memory. And you have to measure the future. Like if I have these actions, what is going to be the future of what is going to be the future after I perform these actions? You see what I'm saying? So we
Right.
can measure our actions based on what we want to achieve in the future. And if we're not basing our actions, measuring what we do based on what we really want to receive in the future, and not allow other people to say, well, you got to go this route, you got to go this route. Says who?
Right.
Okay. You have to assess the situation. We don't assess situations. We emotional. We about
Right.
to pop
Right.
off. We about to set it off. And
That's
I know my emotions gave me 2 heart attacks. And like, you going to sit yourself somewhere, down somewhere, angry lady, and get your mind right. So,
Right.
yeah, we have to assess. We have to assess these situations we're in. We can't just pop off, because a lot of times we might want to pop off. And I've told like women that I talked to not long ago, she wanted to get into something, and I could tell we were both kind of emotional. I'm like, look, let's wait for a later date to try to hash this out, because I don't want to say things to you that I would regret later. And I don't want you saying something to me and you're like, well, I was angry. You right. And I'm a Taurus, so I know how to get down and dirty
Whoa.
with don't take me there. I'm from Detroit.
Yeah.
If you from anywhere, you got your own state of mind. You gonna say something that other people might not dig.
Yeah.
Now we have judgment. People tell us, don't judge other people. You better judge them, because that's how you gonna decide whether you want them in your circle, around your family, around your children, your star seed.
That's right.
We don't want to judge. We telling people, we letting other people tell us, oh, that's the judge's job. No, it's not. We telling our people and women, that's not your job as a woman. No. Yes, it is. Because I'm a mother. I'm the greatest judge. That's as a mother, as a matriarch. I got to use my judgment if I don't want my children molested, miseducated, around the wrong set of people. You see what I'm saying? So I have to have that judgment. So we're not thinking, we don't know how to think. And then we let people come into our arena and try to tell us what it is. No, it is exactly what Mama said it is. Like when we did the Iceni Gospel with Taz, and we were talking about the law. And I said, the woman is the law. We teach our children the law when they start walking. Don't do this, don't do that. Do this, do that. That's the law, not this other stuff that's going on. And then the last part of thinking is, after I've made a judgment, my judgment is, do I need to be involved in this situation or don't I? If it's not nothing to do with me, I might have to, my judgment is to keep it moving. Or my judgment would say, okay, some action needs to be made and I'm going to apply my actions. Just like when the judge makes his judgment and he bangs the gavel, that's his judgment. And now that gavel means, and these are the actions that's about to take place.
Right.
So this is think from the online etymology.
Yes.
And I don't speak this language, but we're going to try to get into it. So to think, Old English, ain't no such thing as Old English. It's every language in the world. Imagine, conceive in the mind. Consider, meditate, remember, intend, wish, and desire. So all of these things are a part of thinking. What do you desire? What do you wish? What are my intentions? When I go out into my day, you know, I'm thankful and grateful. I'm very thankful and grateful. Thank you, great Mother Father. Thank you, solar system, for all the gifts you've provided for me this day. That's my intention.
Right.
To be received and accept. To cause something to appear to oneself. So these are the things that we have to take into consideration. And I think that was the only one that I could tell from that one.
Okay.
And then the next one is the definition from Webster's.
Yes.
And it's a lot there, but I want to go to the underlined part, which is Webster's 1A,
Right.
to exercise the powers of judgment, conception, and inference.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want to do that. And then at the bottom, it says for synonyms that mean the same thing: to think, conceive, imagine, fancy, realize, envision. These meanings, these are all things that you have to do to be a thinker. Because
Mm-hmm.
if all you're doing is thinking about what you're wearing, fashion, I mean, there's so many different concepts of thinking that once you do start actually thinking, your mind is going to take off.
Mm-hmm.
But we need these lessons. These are the lessons I had to learn so I could teach it to my children. Otherwise,
Right.
what am I doing? What am I doing here? So while these definitions are applicable, do we understand the step-by-step process of thinking that will lead our people to freedom? And we
Mm-hmm.
must apply each step to our everyday lives. These steps should also be implemented as part of the homeschool curriculum. You know, I'm the queen. I'm going to get that homeschool in, whatever I see, take a chance, see.
Mm-hmm.
And we've been taught about black and white being colors as part of the false indoctrination that is prevalent in our colonial education institutions.
Mm-hmm.
Black and white are states of beings, which we will go into shortly. However, they, black and white, as we have been taught, are spectrums, for they can be seen. So they do exist, you know, but they are not these colors. Black and white, as defined in etymology and even the Webster Dictionary, is a state of being. It's not about your color. It's what's here. It's about your actions. So that's what that first one meant, colorable actions. So we're going to go next into the spectrum definition. Spectrum is from 1610 apparition. Spectre from Latin. It's plural. Why is it plural? Because it's more than one thing that can be seen. There's just no one thing. Everything is seen in all different shapes, sizes, and colors. So it's plural. And appearance, image, apparition, specter, from specere, to look at, view, pi, root, spec, to observe, meaning. Visible band showing the successive colors from a beam of light passed through a prism. Why I want to stop on this one? Because we use a term called black light. But it's not a black light, it's a black prism. See, when we think of prism, we think just this clear glass that's translucent.
Right.
But you have something, the black is a prism. Because we love to say black absorbs color. Says who? This is black right here. This is not absorbing color, but you can see my light of the rest of my body emitted from this.
Okay. Yeah.
So when we gain an understanding that this is not just hair, this is light. This is whatever we say this color is, it's alive. It is a color. Therefore, it's light.
Right.
Color is light. If I turn off the light so dark, you can still see yourself. Why can you still see yourself even though you're considered a black person? A black object can't be seen in the dark, but you can. Why? Because you're light, but you're being convinced that you're something else. You're just a body.
Right.
You're just
Exactly.
a body with this and this and this. But if you can be seen in the dark, you are a light object. You are emitting light. Even your beautiful black hair that they're saying is that you are black and I'm not black. How can I be this if I don't look like this? That's impossible. That's where you know we got people with too much mental illness running around. So we have to understand that light, black, even black is a prism. Your black, that color that they're saying is black, that's the prism from which all other colors are being emitted. And I know that's going to be hard for some people to conceive of because you can't see the prism. Just like when you're walking down the street and somebody has, what are those things on their porches that tinkle? And they often have prisms in them. The little, when the wind blows.
Wind chimes.
Wind chimes.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're walking down the street, you don't exactly see the wind chimes, but you see the prism that the light gives off from that prism, right?
Mm-hmm.
So who's to say you're supposed to see this black prism?
Right.
You can't see it because guess what? You're being emitted from that same prism with all the other colors because you are a color. You are a color. You are light communication. So when we take the language deeper into that realm of understanding and ascending comprehension, now you're getting into a point where you're saying, wow, this is not what I thought it was. So basically, the color that they're saying is black, which is not that the word it is, but it is the darkest color. It is a prism emitting light. I'm a prism emitting light. Now, am I white on the inside? Now, if I hurt myself, we say I hurt myself down to the white meat. You remember that term?
Yeah.
So, yeah. But when you look at my prism, I'm emitting all colors: pink, white, brown, yellow. My eyes are several different colors. How can you say it's just a brown eye? That's impossible. There's black, there's gray in there, blue, purple for some people. Okay, so we have to understand you are the prism emitting the light so that you can exist on this realm, in this dimension. So until you understand that, you'll always be caught in this tunnel vision of racism and color because they need you to be distracted. And we'll go into why the distraction, because that's deep. So yeah. We can go to the next part. Because of my colonial education, I myself am unaware of the true names of these colors inappropriately labeled black and white. However, my perception has allowed me to realize that I am perceiving color, just not the colors I have been taught they, black and white, are called. Did you want to add anything, Matriarch? No. Okay. Okay. So all forms of imagery are being utilized to keep a veil over your eyes and mind. We must begin to understand the ramifications of acquiescing to the will of foreigners. And when I say foreigners, I mean this government, whites, Caucasians, not of olive or copper descendants. Okay? Without understanding their motives, being it political, financial, scientific, educational, language, and religion. They want something from you. Quit acquiescing to this bull crap that they put out here. Okay? We have to be careful. All of the aforesaid instruments utilized by this corporate entity are used for its gain and our detriment. So how do we as a people begin to free ourselves from such an enticing bondage? Because you're in the bondage because it tastes good, it smells good, it feel good, it look good. But we in a bondage that, oh baby, it feel good up in here. But then when you checked up, you like, I got to come up out of here.
I got to go. Cause no.
Yes. I know you got something, Matriarch. You gonna share in a minute because we went over this, and I know you.
Yeah, I'm coming. I done already held back on they presidents in dresses.
Okay, so we gonna keep it moving then. We already did This Is the Song That Never Ends. We could skip that part. Okay, yes. So this on the previous set, I said there's all this imagery is being used to keep a wool over our eyes. Now, to understand blackface, I did say better requests. To understand blackface better request, Matriarch Joy's Magic in the Motor City, she threw down, and she did use this little crazy person that's on our screen.
That little crazy person that's on the screen.
Is using blackface. Now, this is one of my most powerful screens for anybody who's watching, because I say right here, and I'm going to put it out there, this imagery is quite powerful because it's the Dow test in reverse. Now, if you've never seen the Dow test, it's where they had this room with a white dowel and a black dowel, and they asked a bunch of children, Aboriginal children that look like me, which is prettier, which do you find, which one do you want? And they always chose the white dowel. And the reason why it's in reverse, Mama the Matriarch, could you put that back up with Kardashian? Because we don't understand that this is her. This is Kim Kardashian in blackface. She's using a spell on our people. They're spelling us. You ever said, spell the word? Now spell the word. This is beyond spelling the word. This is spelling the people. Okay? Why does she want to look like you when she's really of this lighter image? I'm all the way to the right corner where she's holding her hair in a ponytail, knowing that when she takes off all that makeup, all that Maybelline, she looks pale as I don't know what. What is the purpose of them? Does she feel more beautiful in blackface? You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So, and the reason why this image is powerful, because if you did the dial test on this image and our young women still pick the lighter image, it's going to be disturbing. Why? Because that lighter image woman love looking like your daughter that's going to pick her whiter image. Get that through your mind. Get that in your mind, that they are disturbing our young women with this imagery. You can't complain about our women being thoughts. Thank you. Which doll is pretty? See? Now, this is why that is so disturbing. Because she's asking which one is the good doll. Now, you might live in a community where you've never seen a white person other than it be your teacher. But you believe that white doll is a good person. Why? Because we have the television on. We're sending them to their schools. We're given this mechanism, this artificial intelligent mechanism, all the access they need to create friction in the mind of your child. So when people say don't whoop your children, if you don't want to whoop your children, don't have a television in your home.
Yes.
If you don't want to have to, because basically you're competing in your child's mind for the attention of the AI, because they rather get back to that show than listen to you talk about reality. So now you're helping the AI create a being that cannot differentiate and doesn't want to differentiate, because we're not offering entertainment to our children the way that artificial intelligence mechanism is. The TV is offering escapism from their reality. Those toys that talk with that vernacular, with that white vernacular, they're offering, I want to be your friend. We're going to learn. We're going to do this. Whereas mama say, get off your butt. You got to do this. You got to do this. You got to do this. So this is the reality. We are competing with this. But if you take that TV out your home, you won't have to compete with this. If you take that radio, like there's no radio in my home, I'll make the playlist. So my kids know jazz. They know Donald Byrd, Places and Spaces, Wind Parade, Falling Like Dominoes. They know about Horace Silver, Ode to My Father. They know jazz. And don't get me wrong, they listen to rock and roll too, because I love rock and roll too. And they got that from us. But you have to be the one to control the narrative. There ain't no yada, yada, yada in my house. Ain't no Nicki Minaj in my house. They can listen to MC Light.
Rote training in your house.
Right. They can listen to MC Light. They can listen to some of the other stuff from back in the day. Like
Lamb Chop.
My daughter just found Brandy. So, when Brandy came out, her brand was that she's clean cut, she not half naked, and she putting out great music that got her paid without having all these raunchy lyrics. So you as the parent, you have to be willing to control the narrative in your home. And you're going to have outsiders, because I've had outsiders, my own family, tell me, oh, you too controlling, you too this and you too right, even though I am teaching my children proper right thinking, the law, how to carry themselves, etiquette. But I'm being told I'm too controlling. But when their kids go out and mess up, you bring them to me to undo this bull crap. So we have to be careful how we label ourselves and label each other, because me being the woman that I am and the parent that I am, I'm not allowing nobody else to come up in my crib and tell me such and such. I don't want to hear that. I don't want nobody to tell my daughter how to be a woman or how to present herself that goes against what I already told her is the proper way, if she has to do something that goes against her nature. So we have to take the AI out of the home. If you're not, I had to drop so many students out of my class. I mean, I really had to vet parents, and I saw parents were lying to me. Like, I'm like, they can't watch television. What do you mean they can't? Why they can't? Why? Because the work ain't getting done. They don't know sign language. They only at this part. They should be able to sign children. My name is Mama, and I spell my name SALIMA. If they not learning that, if they can't go into the languages because you think it's all right to give them an artificial intelligence, I can't help you. I really can't help you, because I'm about bringing them into this reality. So yeah, I think we did this. Oh, this is the song. Okay, this is a song that you learn by rote. Now, for children like myself, even myself at this time, I enjoy singing the song, yet it is a form of rote learning. Pay attention to the lyrics, especially these lyrics. Some people started singing it not knowing what it was. What are you really saying when you label yourselves as Black? What are you really saying? Because if you don't have this knowledge, you don't know what you're saying. You don't know what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess we could go into the next slide.
Okay.
I'm finished ranting about that one.
All right.
We all have the ability to change the face of this planet with proper elevation. You are not a color. We are not a color. Many colors can be used to describe our people, yet no color can define us. This language evolves to suit those in control of the educational systems that want to push biased narratives, colorable actions, and miseducation among the masses. The meaning of words in this language change every decade. So Joy was saying, this is important, because Joy was like, well, I'm going to get the definition off and I'm like, oh no, I got a dictionary. Now it's not, it's 1973. I was born in 1972. Now, if you get a Webster's dictionary right now, I bet you half of them, the definitions of the words have changed.
Right.
So when you use these online portals, you have to realize who's in charge of the online portals. Quora, and Quora is those people who work for Quora are from Google. You see what I'm saying? So they're going to, and they are the so-called fact checkers. Okay, so you want your Bible. I mean, you want your own Bible. My dictionary is my Bible. I apologize for using. You want your own dictionary. You want hard copy, because one of the reasons why they've done this plan is because they want to change the way you learn. They want to take it from hard copy and make it all this online.
Yes.
And if you've never seen Ghost in the Shell, because I'm an animation freak, if you've never seen Ghost in the Shell, you don't know what I'm talking about. Your eyes already hurt from watching too much television. So they want your kids to sit for 8 to 6 hours on a computer and type in all their answers online. What happens to their ability to write a sentence in their handwriting if everything is fine? What happens to their, because your eyes are fuzzy after you look at the computer so long, your eyes need a break. You got to do the eye exercises and massage your eyes to, apologize to them, but So they're changing the paradigm of education to suit their needs. I often talk about don't let your children do coding. And people look at me like I'm crazy. That's where the money is. You know, let me tell you what they about to do with your child with coding. First of all, they need indigenous children to fix the problem with the artificial mechanism that does facial recognition because it cannot differentiate from other beings and other things. That's why whenever they come at us to arrest us with facial recognition, they always get it wrong because the computer cannot differentiate. But you with your greedy ass, and I do understand, you want your children to have a leg up if they didn't have it before. They're computer inclined. They about to computer incline your child because whatever we create, they use it to decimate us as a people. Understand this right now. Whatever we create, they use against us. We got to stop sharing this. This ain't for them. Don't get on this platform. Oh, so you're a racist. Shut up.
This ain't for them.
This ain't for them.
My platform. Y'all hear what my sister telling y'all? I back up what she's saying right now. This Karmic Dynasty platform, I created it. She telling y'all what I would tell you. This ain't for them. Don't come on here with that mess, because over here we bust up lies if you didn't know. And you will get removed right quick so that you know. I have 3 moderators right now in the studio with me. You get exited up out of here before I even know you was up in here. Because we don't have time. The matriarchs don't have time. The patriarchs handle that around here. So if you will continue to tell them where they ain't at, matriarch, I appreciate you.
Okay.
I'll back up what you're saying around here.
One of the things that my parents had a problem with my students is that I had a non-disclosure for the parents. Wherever I teach your child, you cannot use it with Caucasian races. And when I say Caucasian, I mean anybody that ain't us.
That's right.
You cannot use the knowledge I teach your child to give to these people. If you do, you are in violation. I'm putting a lien on all your shit. Excuse my language. My knowledge is not to enlighten them because they don't want enlightening. Let me tell you why. They got it good where they at.
Yes.
They got it good where they at. They don't need our enlightenment. Our only enlightenment helps them keep them under the boot. So that's not what this for. Your child should not be coding. I don't care what nobody say. They're going to use our indigenous children to fix the artificial mechanism that they want to use to enslave the whole planet. If you already think we got it bad now, watch what they do because it's going to be our children that fix it, that make it work like we need it. And woe to you, to the parent that's all proud. Oh, my baby gonna be making $100,000 this year. Yep, while they enslaving their own kind. So you can suck it. If you think I got a problem telling you, that's what they do. The only true scientists and creators on this planet, they look like us. When have these people ever did anything scientifically that benefited everything else? Let me tell you, they just had a paper that came out that said half of the science studies ever created was debunked. You can go on Google. Go to Google and y'all look it up because I shouldn't have to. I'm not going to do this. This is my book. What we're talking about, what you see on the screen, this is a book to unschool for homeschoolers. You understand? So yeah, this language evolves to suit those in control of the educational systems that want to push biased narratives. And the biases, y'all need to be locked up. They do have jurisdiction over you. No, you don't have to. You're not my mother. You're not my father. Right. My mother can ask me where I'm going. I say, yes, ma'am, I'm headed this way. Okay. Right. My father can ask me where I'm going. Yes, sir, I'm doing this. If a police officer comes up to you, I don't care what color he is, they don't have jurisdiction. I don't answer questions. You're not kin, you're not family, you're not anything to me. You're here to enslave me and get my land. So they want to push these colorful actions on you and miseducation among the masses. So this is where we have to be clear about what we about to get into. So we about to do black. Let's get that panic attack. All right. Much respect to the matriarch. This I love this. She had this online. Where did the word black come from? The word Negro is Spanish for black. The Spanish language comes from Latin, which has its origin in classical Greek. The word Negro in Greek is derived from the root word necro, meaning dead. If you ever watch the Hobbits and stuff, they were talking about necromancers and stuff. When you watch The Lord of the Rings, those orcs were zombies. They were dead, whatchamacallits, that were brought back to life to fight this war in The Lord of the Rings. They were the dead elves. So they collected the bodies of the dead elves and created these orcs, which is what made the tree herders in the movie mad, because you had to cut down trees to perform this black magic of necromancy. So yeah, we got to be careful of what we're saying and what we're doing out here. So I guess we can
Yes, because speaking of being careful, apparently my video's been blocked on Facebook, dispute using what minute and 50 seconds of that fan page video, that damn lamp chop roach stuff. Whatever, for educational purposes. Whatever.
only. It's for educational purposes.
Yes,
They
talking
blocked
about
us?
talking about further action taken against my page. Do what y'all must, because I'm gonna keep doing what I must.
Wow.
We're gonna see. We're gonna continue on.
Okay.
Continuing on.
Yes. Okay. Black and Old English. Absolutely dark, absorbing all light, the color of soot or coal. Now, there's no date on this, and I'm good for dates. Okay. And the reason why there's no date on this is because they're lying to you. But when you go down to the last line of this definition, it says to shine, flash, or burn. Okay. In the first paragraph of that definition. And then it talks about fire and the absence of color, but they're lying to you because that is their job, to lie to you, to keep you, like I just said, you are the prism. If you're considered black, you're the black light prism, and black emits all color. That's why you can't see it like that. It only shows up when it's most necessary. Your ether, your senses, the hair raises on your body when you're in danger, the back of your neck, your hair on your head. You'll get a chill and you'll feel it go all through your head. That's how powerful this sensor is. So for you to tell me that this is negative or this is bad, knows that you have some kind of narrative bias. You want to push some madness across my mental state. So we have to be careful of that. You are this color, but you're the prism emitting all the other colors. No other color can be emitted in this realm without you. We can go to the next one. Okay. The real meaning of black is that you are fierce, terrible, and wicked. That is not a color. That's 14th century, by the way. You see that date? 14th century. It is nothing about a color. Black is a state of being. If you out here killing people, you're black. Okay? If you're out here raping, you're black. If you're out here performing some kind of corrupt act, you are a black person. The color of your skin don't make you black. What's in here and what's in here, followed by the actions, make you black. And until we understand that, we'll always be lost. We'll always be marching with these people talking about Black Lives Matter, this, and that. No. Your actions make you black. So when you march with Black Lives Matter, you are black. You're performing a wicked act. And in order to understand that, you would have to watch my video May 30th of last year on my birthday. I put it out. I put it out there that if you are marching and you're saying, I can't breathe, you're being wicked. You're being wicked. And you marching with those other people. Why y'all always want to march with all these other people? Because the other people you marching with are the black people. They are going to get those people that we call white are the black people. And they're going to get reparations. They're already getting your reparations because you went out there and marched and said, I can't breathe. Okay, keep saying that. If you can't breathe, you don't need a check either. Everybody else got their check.
Those who don't breathe are dead. What you need a check for?
So you following these leaders given to us. That's what ROTE is. They gave you Black Lives Matter. And they went for it. They went for it. So my thing is, you are evil. You are black in who you are. Because you're practicing this form of suicide. And not only is it suicide, you're killing future generations. You're the worst type of wicked person in the world because all of this knowledge now is available to us. But we rather watch Atlanta Housewives or Love and Basketball, whatever these people watch, because I don't have no TV. So I don't even know how old. You can tell how old I am and how last time I seen something because I don't even know what they're watching. Okay.
Yeah, I call it slow suicide. A lot of people attack. See, my position on this is a lot of people attack people who have committed suicide, and it's not really even an attack on them because they're not even here in the avatar anymore. You're not even attacking them. You're just running your mouth. Because at the same time, you're being a hypocrite because your suicide is slower, the pace
and more enjoyable, more enjoyable.
So they got it over right quick, some cases, but your ass taking years and decades to kill yourself, and you enjoying it the whole time. You bathing in it. You bathing in the comfort and enjoyability of killing yourself. So y'all are suicidal. Some of y'all are suicidal and you don't even want to address it. I'm going to tell you today, you're committing slow suicide.
And you're wicked. You're committing sin. When you don't appreciate the gift of life given to you, you're committing sin. I'm not committing sin when I have sex. I'm not committing sin when I have children. I'm not committing sin when I do a lot of other things. But when I don't appreciate the gift of life that was given to me, now I am the sinner.
That's a problem.
And the reason why that is a sin is because you've been lied to through these pastors and been told that the only way that you can communicate with your source, with your source self, is through a dead being that never existed. So you're giving out your source to these things that don't exist. So yeah, when I do these crazy things, I am sinning. But when I'm doing natural things, I'm within my proper persona. I'm in my proper state of being.
Right.
So we're going to get back to
we're at the 14th century part, the end of the first sentence.
Yeah. Okay. So we're going to go down into the black art and necromancy. That's the same paragraphs, but it's 3 lines from the bottom.
Okay.
So it emerged about 1850, 1580s. So that, and it still doesn't say it's a color. It says it's an act. It's the black art. When you have an art or a skill, that's an act.
Right.
But when it's a black art, you're doing something wicked. Now you are sinning. So we have to be aware that black is a state of being. It's the way you're thinking, and it's the way your actions follow up what's in here. So we can go to the next part if you don't have anything, Matriarch, and let's get to the other black.
Blackbird, circa 1200, and trans to become black. Early 14th century trans to make black, darken, put a black color on, from black adjective, especially to clean and polish, boots, shoes, etc., by blacking and brushing them. 1550s. Related
so
black. and blacking.
Right. And this is important because, and this is still online etymology. Now it says to become black. You see what I'm saying? How can you become black? Through your actions, not through your color. You see what I'm saying? You put black on, or you darken to clean and polish boots. So to clean and polish boots, that color still isn't black. But to become black takes your actions, takes your thought, and you follow through with your actions. Are you going to be wicked and terrible, or are you going to be who you really supposed to be? So you have all these people here prepping him and getting him ready for his show. He has to become black. I guess we can go to the next one because I want to hit on this black market thing. Black-hearted. Okay, the black market. Yep. Unauthorized dealing in restricted or rationed commodities.
1931.
1931. But it was gone before then. And I'm gonna tell you one of the first black markets. We call it sharecropping. But the first real disgusting black market is when the Caucasians came over, the Europeans. They were putting their babies on our breast. Now, why would they do that? Why would, if I'm a beast, you say I'm a beast of the field, why would you put your baby on my breast, on my beastly breast? I'm going to tell you why. Because their genetic code is already jacked up. So when you see any of these beautiful people, it might be makeup, it might be operations, but some of them have our genetic code because they were putting their babies on our breast.
Yeah.
Okay. There's a market for that. And there's still a market. You see that online, breast milk for sale. They want, and they don't want anybody's milk. They want our milk because I breastfed my youngest 3 years. And I'm telling you, well, yeah, you done met her. You met her. She is bad. Okay. So that's what they were doing. They are mentally deficient. They need that. They need that matriarch. They need what you got to make their genetic code right. Because we're gonna do the Eve seed in a minute. Well, I'll break down all of that. While y'all talking about Eve, she ain't even a woman.
Right.
She's a man.
Right.
So that's why they were putting their babies on our breasts. Because genetically they're not women. And I know I'm about to make some people mad with that, but if you read your Bible, you about to understand that's not a woman. You cannot make a woman from just a man. And you can't make a man from just a woman. You need both. That's natural law.
Yep.
So
around here, they might get mad.
When you see them with a bunch of children and all of that, sometimes that ain't even their kids. When you see these pictures of them with it, oh, she had 13, that ain't even their kids.
Right.
They thieves. They child thieves. They husbands slept with us and made these mulatto babies. That ain't always they babies. That is not always they babies. Those are our children. You think they picked Meghan Markle because she had the genetic code. If you see now, she looked like one of them, but that mama, that genetic code of that mama, she fine. She fine, baby. They needed that. Have you seen them kids? Ew. So what they're going to do, because they're still all really Jews, they're going to mix Meghan Markle kids with some of the other royals. And that genetic line is going to be up next. Why? Because they won't look frightening when you look at them on the screen. When you see they father and all of that who just passed, they look like Skeksis from the Dark Crystal. They need that genetic. You see what I'm saying? So we have to be careful what we're doing. We do have to be careful what we're doing. We can go to the next one, I think. whenever you're ready. But that black market, we have to be careful. You muted your mic, Ma. Matriarch. Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, we
Yeah,
have to
I
be
was saying,
careful.
let me do this right quick. I hear you. Because you be like,
Okay.
this is my input. All my input ain't always verbal. And you talking on some stuff, I need people to see what you're talking about.
Okay, no problem.
I need them to see this.
Oh my goodness. Now don't that look like a Skeksis from the Dark Crystal?
And they be like, what's the Skeksis from the Dark Crystal?
So look that up. And in the Dark Crystal, they were hunting these beings called gelflings, and they were drinking their essence.
Mm-hmm.
So what is the essence? Now in here, it was their life force. They were draining the life out of these beings and drinking it. And these are Skeksis. And they live because they're vampires. They were eating everything else within sight.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, these are Skeksis. So
Yep.
when they came over here, they were Skeksis. Have you seen pictures of these people before they got fine and looking good with makeup and stuff? They look like this when they came over here.
They look like this.
Somebody put this man so he could live longer when he was a baby because they had to see the genetic deficiency on a breast that looked like mine so that he could live longer and push a little further. Because they be talking about adrenochrome, but I'm the original adrenochrome. Thank you. What you say? They be talking about adrenochrome, but we the original adrenochrome. All you had to do was put them ugly little babies on them titties, and they was gonna be all right for a while. Then they might be able to make a next genetic line. So when they talk about adrenochrome, we the original adrenochrome. They put them babies on our breasts. So yeah, you have to. Yeah, these people, they are Skeksis, and they drink your essence. And that's Meghan Markle. Now look at her children compared to the brother's children with his wife. They look totally freaking different.
This says what they will look like. Right here.
They don't look like Skeksis, do they? Because that's not Meghan Markle genetic code. That's that grandmother's genetic code, the grandmother genetic code. And I don't mean Queen Elizabeth. I mean the real matriarch, Meghan's mother. They need that genetic code. When you look at that lady, she is freaking gorgeous. Isn't she beautiful? That's the genetic code they want. They don't want Meghan. Meghan is just the thing that comes through that they can use to
she's just a vessel.
She's just a vessel. And she accepts her vessel. She accepts that life. Yeah. That's all right with her because that's who they are. They bred those people for that.
All right, so let me go in here and go to this point. I just had to share that right quick.
I'm glad you did because we need to break it down. Like those are the black people. Their actions show you exactly who they are.
So that means that this is not the black. This right here is their interpretation of being black, but they are really black.
But they are black because that's the soul. He's mimicking a person with a soul. They don't have souls. Even in their own dictionaries, when you look up soul, it doesn't say anything about these people that we call Caucasians. They don't have, so I don't care what nobody say. I've met I have white people that I love that I grew up with because of my region, how I traveled the country. But I know I'm still dealing with a mimic. It's a mimic of me. That's a mimic. That man is a mimic. He wished he had that much soul as the man in the picture he implemented. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
He's a mimicker. That's all they can do is mimic you. This is mimicry. Now they mimic themselves, but they love to mimic us. There's a reason for that. There's a reason why you're being mimicked like that. And now with the Kardashians and all these YouTubers, they done really got good at, look at this. Yep. Now we have pictures of blackface. How old is that picture when the man dancing, like 1940s?
Oh, it's coming, yeah.
50s? So that's the we in 2000 something. Yet these people are still doing blackface.
That's same people they watching on TV, the same people they kids watching on TV, and they children looking right past it, and it's acceptable. And then it's unacceptable.
Yep. That's what we doing. That is what we're doing. And yeah, she's funny though. But yeah, this is what they mimic. So we can go to the next slide because I know it's something else that I wanted to
Just right here.
Yes. So this is a picture of Beyonce side by side with a YouTuber that likes to go on, and so that's not a woman of color on the left. So we have the definition of black, of the color of night. What color is night? Destitute of light, dark. Okay. Darkened by clouds as the heavens, but that's not black. That's just that they can't see. Sullen, having a cloudy look or countenance. Atrocity, atrociously wicked, horrible, as a black deed or crime. I'm going to drill this in. I mean, I'm not going to stop until y'all understand.
Yep.
You ain't no color. That's not a color. It's an act. It is your soul. If you're wicked, you're black. If you out here killing people because you can, you're black. If you join the police force because you know you can come out and kill our people, you're black. If you control the media and industry and all these other things, you're black. Jeff Bezos, he's black. Bill Gates, he's black. Hey, not black, not a color, not colored. Not none of that. I'm not none of that.
And right quick, I appreciate Team Owens, Rodney Owens and Marcia Harris Owens for this apparel. Check them out on Etsy. I'm gonna get.
I can't wait to get mine. So yeah, we have to be careful. Now they want to say black and blue. The dark color of a bruise in the flesh. Now, black now, that which is destitute of light or whiteness, which is impossible because black emits all colors. I am the prism that you claim is black, but yet I am emitting all the colors of the rainbow. Get out of here. Go talk to somebody else that ain't thinking. The darkest color, or rather destitution of all color, as a cloth, has a good black, a Negro, a person whose skin is black, a black dress and mourning. So we have to realize that they changed this. So I believe that this is from the Webster's online. This was the Webster online portal. This didn't come from my dictionary per se, because I wanted to make it clear that they changed the meanings. They changed the meanings to suit that narrative and push these biased narratives and push these actions towards our peoples. So my next question is, why is blackface? Why is blackface so prevalent in this society? As we read these definitions, we must understand times and dates to clarify meanings and etymology. Pay close attention to the dates of black as an adjective when reading its etymology definition. It goes from a state of being in the 14th century to become the color of a race of people by the 16th and 17th centuries. Why? Who would and has gained from this biased narrative? Why do the definitions of words change, evolve? More importantly, why has the definition of black been changed to cloak our people? Because if you push this definition on me, you want to cloak me or hide me for some specific reason. So we can get into the next one.
Okay. Hold on. Got it.
Okay, this is Webster's Collegiate Dictionary. This is out of my dictionary. A loose outer garment, something that conceals, a pretense, a disguise, to cover or hide with a cloak. Now, I love that you put her picture up here. This the young lady was the white chick that got outed.
The NAACP.
From the NAACP because she was cloaking herself as masquerading as a woman as an indigenous woman, and she's not.
She headed the local Washington chapter.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And she's not none of what she made herself out to be. So we have to understand that blackface isn't just being used to like put us down. It's a spell that they consciously live by,
Mm-hmm.
because this woman was living as this person.
Mm-hmm.
Julianne Hough came out Halloween,
Mm-hmm.
blackface. She
Mm-hmm.
could have just did the character without putting the makeup on. But
Yeah.
there's something about us that they have to mimic you. That's why I call them mimickers.
Mm.
Yep, that's why I call them mimickers.
Here you go. Here go your dancer right here.
Woo!
Look
Yeah,
at
baby.
it.
Get it, baby.
Getting it.
So black, that noun which is destitute of light or whiteness, the darkest color, or rather destitution of all color, as a cloth has a good black. I don't know what that means.
To be clothed in black.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
A Negro, a person whose skin is black. A
Mm-hmm.
black dress, mourning, clothed in black. Okay. It's a transitive verb. So now black isn't just an adjective to describe a being. It's transitive, which means they're using it like he using his legs. That word black is walking now.
Mm-hmm.
It's a walking, talking entity on its own that's transitive. So
Yeah.
even though we know that these people are black based on their actions, we're going to turn it into a transitive verb, which is an action word, because black is still, even though it's an adjective, it's an action word. That means we can turn it into any use. Now we weaponize it. And that's what I was saying in the beginning of the bill, was that the term black has now been weaponized because they made it transitive. They made it all across all lines of
Mm-hmm.
education. What did I say? Food programs. When you apply for these grants, you have to say you're black. So they're going to give you a little bit of money based on you claiming these things, but in the end, it goes against you and all of your people. So you have
Like them $5 Indians.
that the $5 Indian is, they got over on our people with that term.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, we is black, because they knew they wasn't like us. But all you had to do was pay somebody and get on the dolls rolls. That's all you had to do, was pay $5 or have them silver nickels or have our gold, which you stole, to get on the dolls rolls to claim the land.
Yeah.
This is why the dolls rolls is illegal. Because didn't we talk about earlier that even the great noble Drew Ali said you could not claim the land unless you claimed it through your mother's bloodline. So all these people, all these Moors, this government that's got these dolls rolls and stuff, if you're not claiming through my womb, you have nothing coming. That's why all treaties are false and lies, because you're saying all these male chiefs signed over land. They couldn't. The women we have to sign over the land, because the land is ours. Just like when you got a pride of lions.
Mm-hmm.
When another lion come in, he don't kill the lionesses. Why they don't kill the lionesses? Because it's their land, and they want the children that they have with that lioness to inherit those lands. She hunts those lands. You come on her land hunting, whether you a male lion or something else, you about to have a problem out of her, because she knows those are her lands. There is no such thing as a treaty. You can only claim these lands through your mother's bloodline. Even the noble Drew Ali, who was a Moor, knew that. There is no such thing as a treaty. No man can sign over the land from his mother's womb. I am the treaty. So there is no such thing. This government don't have no treaty. They are thieves, period. They are thieves, period. How is it that you cannot claim the land unless it's through your mother's bloodline? But then you got all these treaties signed by these male chiefs, chief such and such, chief such, not one woman. So when y'all get on talking about Aboriginal this, y'all ain't the y'all. Let me tell you something. We Aboriginal women, we was fighting the Moors, we was fighting Great Britain, we was fighting the French, and we was fighting the Spanish. That's 5 freaking enemies, not including these Mongolian Mongoloids who they do call Native American and want to give our land to, because they all joined up together to get rid of us, to hide who we were. You cannot claim no land on this continent without my permission. Now, go stick that up in the treaty and tell me what's real.
So what's real, leading into what's real is this right here.
Okay. Oh, wow. Yeah, I've been waiting on this part. Yeah. Let's be clear that there are many powers at work. Rome, a corporate entity, still exists today under the religious guise of Roman Catholic Church, which has controlled our educational system since their introduction to our people. The European crown in need of natural resources, because England ain't got nothing. It's dirty. It ain't no land over there. I'm telling you, they done used up the natural resources all over the place. All over the place. Let me see. So we also have a foreign economic structure controlled by bankers in need of labor. And I say it's a foreign economic structure because when they came over here, there was nobody poor. There was nobody in need. There were no beggars. There was none of that over here until these people came and set up their foreign economic structure. Now, who set up the foreign economic structure? The Moors.
Hey now.
The Moors. Can you hear me? Can you hear what I'm saying? All you Moors. They set up the foreign economic structure. They tout it online every day. We set this up. We did this. This is us. Yep, you came with that church too. So I'm calling out all you Moors. Yeah. Yep. And we have unparalleled resources. The North American continent we have unparalleled natural resources. And to alleviate these common denominators of acquiring the land and enslaving the people, its sovereign people, civil servants, and we're going to go into the word civil because I'm about to let y'all see. Y'all using this word civil, y'all don't know what y'all talking about. You don't know what you're talking about. Yep. So it was their way to enslave us and create a caste system. So you came over here with your religion and you came over here with this other stuff. So we about to break down caste.
From the Webster's New Collegiate Dictionary. Caste, race, lineage. Let's see here. Care, to be without. The Greek, to split. Sanskrit, he cuts to pieces. One of the hereditary social classes in Hinduism that restrict the occupation of their members and their association with the members of other castes.
So I want to get to that one, even though I didn't underline it. When they say they restrict the occupation, which means if your mother was a janitor, you're going to be a janitor. Your children going to be janitors. And the higher classes that don't do that, like the doctors and stuff, they don't want to deal with you. They're not going to deal with you because all you do is clean my toilet. That is a caste system. We live in a caste system, even though you can't see it because it tastes so good, smells so good, whatever.
Yeah.
So, and it limits your association with the other members. So I have come across people that I really like. We get down, we said, but because they're from a social different class, I can't relate to them only so far because their parents tell them, don't bring home people like me. My parents told me, don't bring home people like such and such. That's your caste system. My friends' parents who were Christians told them, oh, you can't play with them Muslims. They Muslims. That's creating a caste system.
Yeah.
So we let these people come over here, like she said, cast spells and create a caste system. Now, this is the one that really prestige, a system of rigid social stratifications characterized by hereditary status. So based on the way we look alone, we have that social stratification put on us. Even though I know I'm not Black, based on the way I look alone, they're going to push that on me and they're going to push that on my children. Period. period, because they don't know no other thing. But the real definition of caste is that we're pure and chaste. So before we start mixing with these beings, we were pure and chaste.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
So a system of rigid social stratification characterized by hereditary status, endogamy, and social barriers, sanctioned. This is why this is underlined. It is sanctioned. The caste system has been sanctioned by law, custom, and who?
Religion.
Religion creates the caste system. Religion was the original caste system created. Okay, and this is where I ask people to check out the Dumb Diversa if you don't believe me. So we're going to look up sanction, which was in the caste definition.
Yep.
Mother Matriarch, do you mind reading that?
In the online etymology dictionary, early 15th century confirmation or enactment of a law, from Latin sanctum, sanctionum, nominative sanctio, act of decreeing or ordaining, also decree, ordinance, noun of action from past participle stem of sansire, to decree, confirm, ratify, make sacred. See saint, noun. Originally, especially of ecclesiastical decrees.
And ecclesiastical is the church.
Mm-hmm.
So the church sanctioned you being defined as Black.
Mm-hmm.
This is where the Dumb Diversa comes into play. I thought I had my copy, but I forgot because I highlighted a part where they specifically talk about our people being in perpetual slavery. As a matter of fact, Shay, you had something on the screen the other day about, I think it was Massachusetts, is 16 something, that even if they become Christians or whatnot, you still consider Black and no, you can't get to heaven.
Mm-hmm.
So you can practice this religion all you want. This religion has nothing to do with your soul. The religion is a capitalist tool. That's it. It has nothing to do with your soul. It has nothing to do with saving your soul. The Dumb Diversa. I'm sorry, I can't see
that bigger. Yeah, hold, let me see. Here it comes.
Okay. The Dumb Diversa, English Until Different, is a papal bull issued on the 18th of June, 1452 by Pope Nicholas V. It authorized Alfonso V of Portugal to conquer Saracens and pagans and consigned them to perpetual servitude. If you go to church, you're in servitude to these people. If you go to their schools, you're in servitude. You are not free. You are not. You're not. There's just no other way around it. You're not. So that's what sanctioned is about. So the definition, by definition alone, you being cast as a Black was sanctioned by the church and state. So then they threw in some other stuff to make you Blacker and enslave you. So yeah, sanctioned by church or state. Was religion taught to us to create a caste system among our people? Yield to the yeah. Don't forget that their religious system is also the educational system, because before you couldn't read if you were in their system unless you were reading their what? Bible, which is still a civil document. It's just their lies on top of it. And many laws that follow are ecclesiastical. They are even in the law dictionaries. Black's Law Dictionary, it has it's ecclesiastical. It's in there. It's in there. So we can start breaking that one down, because I know we're coming to our time in a minute. Ecclesiastical, late 15th century, from French ecclesiastique, and directly from medieval Latin ecclesiasticus, from Greek ecclesiastikos, of the ancient Athenian assembly and late Greek of the church. From Ecclesiastes, speaker in an assembly or church preacher. To call out, to call, to shout, as a noun, one holding a office, government, hold office, government agents, hold offices in the Christian ministry. 1650s, the earlier noun was ecclesiastic. Late 14th century, the Latin word also was used as a noun in late Latin. So yeah, you have to realize that the church is part of the indoctrination of slavery of your people. So when you run to church, I don't care what you call yourself, Islamic, Christian, Buddhist, whatever, you are practicing slavery. You are worshiping your master. Yeah. And that's all I got to say about that one. Black's Law Dictionary. This was the online portal?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Black's Law Dictionary is the most widely used law dictionary in the United States. Henry Campbell Black, 1860 through 1927, was the author of the first two editions of the dictionary. The U.S. Supreme Court has cited the dictionary as a secondary legal authority in many Supreme Court cases. However, it is still just essentially an abridged dictionary with pronunciation guides that has some slight reference material involved.
So when you go into the Law Black's Dictionary, because I have the third edition, fourth edition, the body of ecclesiastical law. It says ecclesiastical law, the body of jurisprudence administered by the ecclesiastical courts of England. Come on, people, we got to start catching the clue.
Mm-hmm.
Derived in large measure from the canon and civil law. So we still don't know what civil is. It's going to come up. As now restricted, it applies mainly to the affairs and doctrine, discipline, and worship of the established church. When you go to court, you in a church.
Mm-hmm.
You ever heard that? When you go to certain places, oh, you in church?
That's why they got that Bible
you're not really in the church building because you still in a church.
That's why the Bible in the courtroom. That's
why the Bible is an ecclesiastical
I got you.
Environment.
Mm-hmm.
That court is based on, because that court is where they burnt their women, drowned their women, all types of stuff. You a witch.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Oxford. Oh, I love Oxford Dictionary. Ecclesiastical, usually before now, I can't even pronounce all that other stuff. Connected with the Christian church. Now, when I first looked this up, 1 Timothy is in here. That's why you see it, because it's in here. All who are under the yoke of slavery should consider their masters worthy of full respect, so that God's name, ain't no God, and our teachings may not be slandered. What are they teaching you? To be a slave. When I went back the other day to check the definition under Oxford, it was gone. This definition pops up on Oxford's online portal. They have since changed it. But I made sure I put it in there before they could change it, because it's like they watching people like us. They want to know what we're putting out. Mm-hmm. And all we are was putting out the truth. And the truth is right there. They put it out there. Oxford. Mm-hmm. Isn't that their European dictionary? Oxford? Mm-hmm. So you are dealing with these people. You don't know. It's all yoke. So let's go to ordained, because that's part of the ecclesiastical. Mother Matriarch, if you don't mind.
Yep, online etymology dictionary, ordained verb, circa 1300, ordinen, to appoint or admit to the ministry of the church. Also to decree, enact, from stem of Old French, ordinaire. Place in order, arrange, prepare, consecrate, designate, modern French, ordinaire, and directly from Latin, ordinaire. Put in order, arrange, dispose, appoint. From ordo, genitive, ordinis, role, rank, series, arrangement. See order noun. The notion is to confer holy orders upon, sense of, establish, set something that will continue in a certain order is from early 14th century.
It sounds like they put that dumb diversa right in order. And then all the laws that they have on these books for us here that they, and it's not really a law. It's a lie.
We about to
Ordinance,
define law.
acts, codes, whatever they want to call it. So we're going to look up this. The narrative is to control the sovereign people. We are the largest civil servant force in the world. Understand this. Our people, we are the largest civil servant force on the planet. And that's not a good thing. That is not a good thing. So we're going to go into law real quick, and then I'll break down the civil so they can understand. Mother Matriarch, if you don't mind reading the law.
Define law. This comes from the Webster's New Collegiate Dictionary, law. Let's scroll down. 1A, a binding custom or practice of a community. A rule of conduct or action prescribed or formally recognized as binding or enforced by a controlling authority. 2, the whole body of such customs, practices, or rules. 3, common law. 3B1, the control brought about by the existence or enforcement of such law. 2, B2, the action of laws considered as a means of redressing wrongs, also litigation. B3, the agency or of an agent of established law. C, a rule or order that it is advisable or obligatory to observe, aka the Black Codes, Casual Killing Act. If
So those
law is a natural occurrence, why does it need to be physically enforced by foreigners?
If their laws were a natural occurrence, why do they need to be physically enforced by them? Because they're not a natural occurrence. Nothing that they've written is a natural occurrence. The only law that I truly agree with is stoplights. And not late at night. The reason why I agree with the stoplight law is because you can't hurt somebody if you're flying 70 miles an hour through a stoplight. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So yes, that should be respected. That I can see right now is important. Because our people got zoom, 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 and they boom when they get behind that wheel and put their foot on the gas.
Yeah.
Too many of our children are being hurt. So law should be respected. But other than that, if the law is to lock you up because you don't have money, if the law is to lock you up because you can't afford a license, if the law is to lock you up because you can't afford rent, that's a debtor's court. That's a debtor's prison. Their law is all about debtor's prison. It's still an act. We just had something in Michigan where the courts are going to redo themselves because they're saying, look, the courts ain't making no money except for all the people that they throw in jail. That's illegal. That's debtor's prison. That is illegal. So any laws that they set forth being based on your behavior, your education, or any of these things, they're lying to you. So I ask people, please read the Dumb Diversa, read the Black Codes, read the Department of Interior, which holds indigenous lands as national park status. Why do you need to look at the Department of Interior? Because the United States corporate government uses something called the Strategic and Critical Materials Stockpiling Act, enacted in 1939, June 7th. Look at these dates. Look how old this stuff is. They were really getting ready to set us up for this. So you think racism is about your color when it's really about your land. Yeah, it's not about your color. That's the distraction. That's the overlay for the underplay. That's the underlay for the overplay, whichever way you want to call it. So there are many religious text references within this text to clarify the role it plays in our society, financially, judiciously, and education-wise. Understand that religion interferes with the nucleus of the family, which is the nation. If you want a real nation, it's not going to happen if you're going to church, if you're going to the mosque, if you're going to these places that teach you to create a caste system amongst your own people. If you practice any type of religion, you are practicing a caste system that keeps you separate from your people. Why do you need their religion? You know not to kill. You know not to screw that woman's husband. You know not to screw that man's wife. You know it. Nobody even have to tell you. You had a feeling. You could be like, "Ooh, they look so good." Listen, you know the law, and your head says don't do that, because not only are you breaking up a happy home, you could get killed in the process. There's people out here that love. You don't know how much they love. You're gonna get hurt. So we have to be careful. You know the law. Your mother taught you the law. You don't smack girls on their butt. That's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
We know the law. We just don't practice it because we following what they say.
Yep. And yeah, we will that is the end of the first session.
Yay.
Yay.
So I hope just anybody who watched it, pass it along, share it, and I hope you got something out of it, because it's other stuff that we talked about, black and blackface, but when we get to white and whiteface and what whiteface is in this country, whoa, whiteface, yeah, they don't just practice. We practice whiteface as our people, so that's gonna be in part 2, and we're gonna break down the science of who you are and why you're not black or white or these colors that they say. So I thank you again, Matriarch, for sharing your platform, and I appreciate you for letting me bring this knowledge.
You are welcome. And do you have anything else you'd like to share with the audience before you leave today?
Leave quotes, leave messages, leave questions. Ask me anything. I mean, put it out there, and I will get back to you as soon as possibly I can, because there is a lot of knowledge to take in. And then, after a while, you start putting the pattern, you start putting the puzzle together yourself. Mm-hmm. This is all I'm bringing out to the people so that we can have a sense of freedom. Because before I started thinking this way, I was a slave and I was in pain and my children were suffering. So that's what this is about. Schooling our own people, unschooling the bullshit, and putting in right and proper knowledge so that we can have true elevation as a people, as a nation. We don't have that because we're so misguided. We're so led the wrong way. So like I said, thank you for sharing this platform just to get this out there, and let's take it to the next level.
That's right. And I thank you for coming on to the platform today. I appreciate your patience and working with me as I assisted you to bring this to the platform. It's been a journey. It's been an incredible journey.
You busy. You be busy. Just the fact that I got this much time, I appreciate it, because you are busy and you keep doing what you're doing. You keep doing what you're doing. All the people that you have bought into, like Ramatef Queb, just people I would have never known of without you. So I thank you, because they help. Thank you. They help build me. Mm-hmm. I'm learning from y'all. I'm not a teacher. I am a student. I can't teach anybody unless I'm learning. Y'all keep teaching me, because when it hit me, bam, I'm gonna put it out there like, hey, I saw the light. I see you. I see the light.
Yes.
So yeah, keep teaching me, and I'm gonna bring out whatever I can. This is what I want for my people. Mm-hmm. Yeah. We want right way of thinking. So thank you. Peace and love to all of y'all.
Yes. And we have Quenisha Hudson here. She agrees with you on your words of Ramu Tefqueb, and I agree with your words as well. And I agree with Quenisha's energy of Ramutep. I agree with your energy of Ramutep. I've learned so much from him myself. So just like you today, and you have things to offer, I bring you to the platform if you would be here, because I need to share what I know. And then when a message is shared, the hearers all take something different from it. Because you and I have both watched the same video, and then we come to the table and talk about it later, and we learn something from each other. So yes, this is what this platform is about, and this is what I'm going to continue to do. So I appreciate your encouragement, and it's a journey to be able to do this. And it's not been that long that I've been doing this. I've learned so much. And when I tell people just a small part of what I do, and then I tell them how long I've been doing it, they're like, what? Yeah. Like, yeah, I'm zooming through. I'm being carried on that wave, and I'm just riding that wave. I want to give acknowledgments to Sis Ray Lay for supporting me as well. And I appreciate you reaching out to me and checking on me. Shaniqua Hardy as well. I appreciate you and your support and your words that you have shared with me as I go through this journey. I also appreciate Vicki Williams. For her, she checks on me. Where you at? I ain't seen you. Are you okay? I appreciate what you do. I appreciate your time you put into checking on me. And I appreciate Quantea. Quantea has been checking on me as well, and she always leaves her words of encouragement and support. And I greatly appreciate you, Quantea, for what you put in to even think of me. The time I'm like, who, me? People are checking on me. It's like, and the Hamet just taught you something you never knew to think on. You always enjoy this type of talk. Been waiting on the Hamet to come back. He's been waiting on you to come back, mother.
Thank you. I hope y'all really got something from it, because I said I'm gonna bring the pain, and I'm gonna bring all of it that I got it. I got it.
Yes. And he says he appreciates us both of us. And I appreciate you as well, Ramutep.
Yes, we do.
So I'm going to close out here. Again, I am Joy Allen of the Karmic Dynasty. And here is my contact information below here. And you can contact me. And I will be here actually on my platform tomorrow two times. I got 2 broadcasts tomorrow. So I will see you all tomorrow for both of those. You need something, you want to talk, call me. Yeah, if you want to call me, you don't have my number, you have to contact me. We're going to see if we can talk. But otherwise, you can email me, chit chat with me. That'd be great. I appreciate you all being here. And peace to all of you. Love and light, wellness and health. Gratitude for your time and your energy. I appreciate the interactions today. Peace to all of you.
Peace and love.